No. Team Money, get him out of it. Oh, the guy behind me, get him gone. Can you get him gone? Team Money, come on. Get this guy gone, please. 1, 2. Thank you very much. That's where we should be. Jeez, Mother of Mary. Anyway, welcome in, guys. Hope you're enjoying life. Hope you're getting ready for some great football. And I hope you're really getting ready for League Two. On League Two, Wrexham fans, I tell you what, we've got some magical artwork coming. You're going to love what we got coming. And we got things planned already for League Two. So we're ahead of the game. And we're going to go every game throughout the season and follow wherever our guys are playing, how they're doing, and the good times, the bad times. And we're going to be there every step of the way. Now, this is all about the Racecourse grounds greatest games. I'll tell you what, there's quite a few games in history. Look, I give it to you. There's been European games where Wrexham has played in the European Cup Winners' Cup of old, etc. There's been Welsh Cup finals and Welsh Cup games and magical moments there too. I acknowledge that, and I really do acknowledge it. Massive history within the Welsh Cup especially. But what we're touching is more so the international flavour. Now, we're going to start basically, you know, way back in time with Welsh international games. The first group of Welsh international games pretty much at the Racecourse ground, especially the first one at the Racecourse ground. That was 1877 against Scotland. We'll give you the scores on that pretty soon. Then in 1880, they took on England. And then in 1882, they took on Ireland for the first time. Now, we're going to talk about them three, but we're also going to talk about the 17th of May, 1980. The 17th of May, 1980. If you don't know what that means, you probably will by the end of this. Stick around for that. It's a great story. It's Welsh football. It's about the Welsh national team. It's an iconic story. I lived that story. I absolutely watched the moments of that story, and I'm not going to give anything away. Not a chance. We're also going to talk about 1906 and what we've got on the highlight reels of the 1906, the goals, everything else. And we do. Yeah, from 1906. We're going to show you that too. Absolutely. Not a kidder. We've definitely got that. And, you know, you got to say, like I say, the European Cup games, we do acknowledge it. The Welsh Cup games, we do acknowledge it. But this is all about the international games. We do go with one club game, though, however, and that was April 22nd, 2023. At the Racecourse ground. I know you know what it is, but we're going to go over that with the goals and relive the moment of that magical day. And what a day that was. What a fantastic day that was. But anyway, that's what we got lined up for you. This is the greatest games at the Racecourse ground. Like I say, you out there, you may well have your own favourite games. I acknowledge that. And you got to say, so the worldwide Wrexham fans, this is another learning experience where you're going to find out something about a massive club back in time that still play on the oldest international football ground stadium in Britain, per se the whole world, right? Unbelievable. And that stadium's getting better all the while. We're going to see some stuff too. And also quickly, the TST tournament's going ahead, and you got to say, the lineup will be what it is. It's come out. Go to Wrexham.com and find out what the lineup is all about. But for now, let's get ready for the greatest games in Wrexham's history at the Racecourse ground. So the first ever Welsh international game hosted in Wales was hosted at the Racecourse ground. March the 5th, 1877. March 5th, 1877. And Wales hosted Scotland. The only thing that went wrong on that day was that Scotland won 2-0. Good up to Scotland, but it wasn't a great day for Wales. But that was the first ever one at the Racecourse ground. That was 1877. The next one was 1880, and that was against the dreaded enemy. Ooh, the real enemy to Wales is England, obviously. You look in history and they're rivals throughout everything. I'm not going to get into the history, but if you research your history books, you'll know why the Welsh have it up for the English every now and again. And I'd say rightfully so, right? Just look into your history books. But anyway, I'm not going down that road. But 15th of March, which is a very interesting day in our family, but the 15th of March, 1880, Wales welcomed England to the Racecourse ground. And again, it didn't go to the favour of the Welsh. England winning 3-2. But the two Welsh scorers on the day were John and William Roberts, and that was 1880. And finally, the final home international team that Wales would play at the Racecourse ground came a few years later, 1882, and that was against Ireland. And that was a real battle. Kicks off, Ireland go 1-0 up. And you're thinking, oh no, it's not going to be. But at the end of the day, it went Wales's way, and Wales won out 7-1 on the day. And that was 1882, just a couple of years ago, not that long ago. I'm joking, but 1882. So there's the first three. We're going to move on to a couple of different things as we move through, but thought we'd start off with the oldest first. Check out 1906 with this highlight reel of Wales taking on Ireland. Check out the highlight reel. You're going to love this. Real fast football. So there you go. There's the goals. Wales taking out Ireland 7-1, 1906. And that was apparently the oldest football highlights that are available anywhere in the world. When you consider that that was 1882, it doesn't take long to think that either, does it? Now, moving along, 17th of May, 1980. That was an amazing game where England played Wales at the Racecourse ground. England back in the day were the big favourites to win it, as they normally are when they take on Wales, apart from a couple of years in history where Wales really have kicked ass. But normally England do come in as the favourite in that game, as they did on that day, 17th of May, 1980. The only thing is that England would be leaving with their tails firmly between their legs. Now, the England got off to a good start. Paul Mariner, ex-TFC fame, where was he? Ipswich, I should say. Ex-Ipswich mainly, big fame. But England forward, and basically then he came to North America. But he got the goal for England in the 16th minute, started off very well. But the team of Wales of the day, and I'm going to name the names right now. Guy Davies in goal. My life. What a mountain of a goalkeeper. Guy Davies. And I tell you what, when he glared at you, you really, you had no chance. I mean, he was such a strong-minded person. And I tell you what, you didn't want to get in Guy's bad books, but Guy Davies in goal. Paul Price, Joey Jones, Liverpool fame. Everybody of Liverpool knows Joey Jones back in the day. Fantastic defender. Great player. And he played great for Wales as well, especially on the day. Peter Nicholas as well, also played in the top flight with Crystal Palace back in the day. David Jones, Terry Yorath, Leeds United fame. Who doesn't remember Terry Yorath? Leighton James, my life. Burnley fans remember Leighton James back in the day, 70s and the 80s. I loved Leighton James. His pace was very deceiving, but his skill on the ball was just mesmerizing. And he had an absolute attitude to him. He was a winner. Leighton James, loved it. Ian Walsh, another great player. David Giles as well. Mickey Thomas. I'm going to come back to Mickey in a second. And Keith Ponting. Mickey Thomas, I was absolutely in love with Mickey Thomas as a kid. Brilliant forward with Man United. I loved his enthusiasm. I loved his honesty, but I just loved the way he played the game. And he played the same game for Wales as well. So Wales had a massive team going into this game. But like I say, Paul Mariner puts them up 1-0 after 16, but Mickey Thomas on 19 minutes gets it back level. Ian Walsh gets the go-ahead goal on 31. Leighton James, my man, on 61 makes it 3-1 to Wales. And then Phil Thompson with a stupid own goal, so sad, made it 4-1. So on the day at the Racecourse ground, back on the 17th of May, 1980, I lived and watched that game as a kid and could believe what my eyes were seeing, because that team of the day back in 1980 for Wales was a massive team. And most teams around the world had a problem playing that group of men, because to a man, they were a massive Welsh team, and they pulled off some really big results over the years in and around that team too. So on the day, 17th of May, 1980, another big day there at the Racecourse ground. Moving along, So there you go. Wales taking out England 4-1. Another monumental day at the Racecourse ground. But there's been many monumental games at the Racecourse ground. The next one we're going to talk about is April 22nd, 2023 at the Racecourse ground, which was against Boreham Wood, and everything was riding in it on that day, yeah? Win that game, get the title, move up, be champions, promoted, yada, yada, all done. But on the day, as you remember, Wrexham go down a goal with inside 1 minute of the game, and the crowd was like hushed for maybe, let me think, a billionth of a second. And immediately, less than a billionth of a second, that crowd erupted like a volcano. And every man, woman, and child in that ground sang and cheered their hearts out like never before. And you would have thought Wrexham had just scored the goal, but it wasn't that. It was the pride, and it was the will, and the determination, and the sheer passion and love for your club that got every man, woman, and child off their feet, roaring like dragons on the day. And that's exactly what happened. And the team knew exactly that the crowd is right there, right with us. Every step, not a step backwards. And the crowd really was there. And then we all saw Elliot Lee get that tying goal 1-1, and it was like, oh, let's have it, let's have it. And then we saw Paulie Mullin banging in 2 rocket shots. You saw the first one, and it was like, delirium. It's 2-1. We're getting the result we need. But then you saw the second one go in, and you're thinking, is this even real? So like I say, I hope you enjoyed some of what I was bringing from the biggest games that I've seen in history that I wanted to bring to you, so you get a bit of a deeper look into Wrexham back in the day. But there's many more games coming, and many more games will make the highlight reels. But I hope you enjoyed what we're bringing. And remember, please like, subscribe, and like. Pass it around, share it around. Remember, we're aiming for 5,000 subscribers. We've got to keep going. I want to get every Wrexham fan on this channel so that we can interact in the new season, League Two. And remember, we're going to be bringing massive amounts of League Two artwork as we go through every game of the season, pretty much like we did last year too. So get it on here. Get your mates on here, spread it around, and remember, enjoy every show. And if you don't enjoy something, you know what to do. Down below, make a comment. Be a poet like you always are. And for the poets right now, considering something to say, do it. Don't wait for yesteryear. And if you like it, thank us. If you don't like it, tell us why, and we'll learn from your wisdom. Okay, guys, have a great day. And remember, Racecourse's greatest games. We know that you have yours, but these were the ones that we wanted to share with you. Cheers.